Welcome back to Horseplay. It's a very frosty day up here on the moors. The ponies are out wandering around, and I thought I'd just do a little video today on agency. So agency is the ability for an animal or a person to make their own decisions about things, and it's particularly significant in the horse world. Actually, domesticated animals in general, we manage them according to our needs a lot of the time. So asking ourselves when we can give our horses agency, choice, control and challenge in their environment is quite an important question. Before we get into today's discussion, if you would like to subscribe to the channel and press a like, and then we can help spread the word about positive lives for ponies and more natural management, that would be amazing. Okay. So here we're quite lucky, they're in their winter home now. They have a lot of space, they have a full moorland to go off and roam, they've got lots of hills, they can have access onto the beach. They have natural water areas to go and drink from, many different ones, many different kinds of grasses, lots of different types of shelter. They're in a wild environment, they've got each other, so they've got choice around who they spend time with. So they have a huge amount of agency in their living areas. Now you can create this for your horse as well, not quite to the extent possibly if you're in a more limited area, but if you want to have a look at the video that we've got of how to give your horses agency on restricted turnout, if you want to just have a look at this card here, and I'll put a link to that in the description as well, and you can see how you can create agency, choice, challenge and control for your horse in whatever space that you have available. What about allowing your animals agency when they are exercising? So traditionally we might ride our horses, we might lunge our horses, we might school our horses, and during those times the very nature of them is we control their movement. We control the way we want them to stand, we control the way we want them to hold themselves, we control how much weight they bear, we control what kind of things that they have on their heads. So there's very little choice, control and challenge, very little agency in a lot of traditional ways of exercising our horses. So I wanted to share with you some of the things that we do with the Shetlands that give us those opportunities. So the biggest one is go out at walks on liberty. Now we can do it by liberty because we're in the wilderness, there's nowhere they can get into trouble, they have a good recall, they're trained to come back, and we have a really close relationship. So liberty work for us is quite easy, and in that liberty work they have complete control over where they want to go, over what they want to sniff, what they want to eat, where they want to jump or walk or cross or move around things, which is fantastic. But what if you haven't got this, which majority of people don't? Well, you can do this work on a long lead rope and just follow your pony. So go to an area that's not a road, obviously go to an area where there's grass or there's bridle paths, and just walk with them, but allow them to choose how fast they go, allow them to stop and eat what they want to eat, allow them to pick direction if it's safe to do that on a loose rope. Now if you've got a horse who is very comfortable with being ridden on a loose rein, you can go off on a hack, but you can have your rein loose and let them decide the pace, the direction, when they stop, what they sniff, what they eat, and take your own agenda out of that a little bit and just watch what your horse decides to do. Obviously you've got to be safe, so if you feel like it's your horse is deciding it's going to gallop everywhere, well that's not great. So first of all ask yourself, why have they had enough chance to run on their own with their own free will Can they do that, or are they shut in a stable or shut in a very small paddock for long periods of time? So do they get chance of free, fast movement without that being controlled by you? Is there another reason why they're choosing to go fast?
So if you look at more depth at what the horses are doing when they go out, we give them choice, control and challenge within an environment of exercise, for example. So here we went for a walk up over the hill. Now the heather is really thick, the grasses are really thick, there's lots of holes and dips in the ground. So what they're doing, see Bonnie walking down the hill there, she's using her feet to feel where the rocks and the firm grasses are. They're not shod, so they've got in their feet. They can feel the edges of things as they walk along. They're also using their noses to smell the safest routes. So horses have a really strong sense of smell. It's up there with the dogs. So as they are finding their way through difficult terrain, they are smelling where the other animals have gone, where the sheep have gone, where the deer have gone, and they choose to follow those tracks through the wood, through the ground.
Improves their mental well-being, it improves their ability to problem solve. They're moving on different terrains, so they're building up their physical strength and subtlety, their proprioception, which is their awareness of themselves, where their body is at any given time. They're getting braver, smarter, stronger. And it doesn't involve any gadgets. There's no pain involved, there's no bit, there's no pressure. Everything's nice and loose and easy. If you are doing this on a lead rein, I would just say just have a normal head collar and a rope. The rope halters have knots that sit on nerves on the face, and they're actually designed to sit on the nerves on the face. So when you put pressure on that, it can actually be quite painful for the horses. So these walks, if you want your horse to have free choice and not to be afraid to choose, then you need to do it in something they're comfortable in. If things are tricky in that you feel like if you took your horse somewhere and gave them a long rope and just followed them, they'd run or they'd have a flight response or a fight response, that's not where you want to go. So you might choose to do a little bit of scent work in a field. Now there's some amazing information out there at the moment to scent work, and I'll put some links in the description again if you want to do more, find out more about this. And we'll also do more videos on scent work as we start to develop this. But you can do that in an arena, you can do it in a field, you can do it on a yard, and you literally set up spaces where horses can move between different scent markers, and they're using the same agency that they would be if you were out and about, but you're in a safe environment and you might feel more relaxed, and then therefore more relaxed. I think traditionally we're used to feeling like we need all these different gadgets, and we need to go to school for so many hours a day, or we need to go out and ride for so many hours a day. But if you view it from the horse's perspective, what do they need to be fitter, stronger, more supple, braver, smarter? It's actually what they need is the ability to make choices for themselves.